Am I muted? Hi, Barb. Let me see who else is here.
Welcome to our Divine Origin Forum. Tonight's topic, this divine incarnation. Please remain muted as we start with an opening prayer. We call the benevolent beings of light, archangels and ascended masters, to guide and inspire us during this forum. Our forum's vision is to bring the understanding, tools, discipline, and support for those seeking to enter the straight and narrow path, the road less traveled, that leads us along effectively and steadily through the ascension process. Integration of the human experience with our divine origin is moving us full circle to achieve our divine potential. So be it. We thank you for answering the call from on high to attend the forum. Let us join our hearts and minds in preparation to receive the blessings offered. We ask you to release your day from your mind and center yourself. Breathe in deeply and release. Breathe in deeply and release. Take one last deep breath in and release. Relax the tension in your body and your mind. Now bring your full attention to the forum. Be fully present in order to receive and fully retain the discourse gifts. Okay. Now we have down for the quote, but we do not record the quote, correct?
Yes, it's a short video.
Okay.
Jim Carrey awakened. And when he did, he started reading and started learning what was going on. And that freedom that he obtained just stabilized that man. Because if you knew the parts that he played and the craziness of his life, it's mind-boggling. But he stabilized himself and he knows who he is now. And with that, he is healed and whole. And he's trying, like all of us, to hang on to that incredible place. Thank you. I hope you do it too.
This is not recorded. Barbara, may we have your discourse, please?
Yes, thank you. Tonight's presentation is this divine incarnation, this one that you're living right now. I felt that that was such a good, clear, and concise explanation of a very complex system of which we have been living and experiencing lifetime after lifetime. In this particular divine incarnation, and they were all divine, even though we were fast asleep, moving through density with our eyes closed, and just going through whatever we could to get it over with before we awakened. Because once you're awake, you feel on a level that you didn't feel when you were sleepwalking. It was perfect. It was all perfect. Everything happened exactly the way it needed to slowly but surely get you through all the karma, all the really, really hard stuff that we had to face, that we had brought on ourselves from all the lifetimes of sleepwalking and doing what we did. The miracle of it all is that everybody in their own time, with their own clock going off when it was ready to awaken us. And when you wake up at first, there's all kinds of mixed feelings about it. A little bit of fear because suddenly you see things you didn't see before. All of a sudden you start caring about things that you just never gave it any thought. It didn't mean anything to you. You were too busy trying to survive and get through the contracts that you had written with other people. But the beauty of it all is that as you went through your daily life, your higher self and your guides and angels all brought everything to you. Days where you had to work so hard just to get anything done. Other times you didn't feel well physically or emotionally, and you had to go through days and days of dealing with that. Fear would come in, worrying that you weren't going to pull through or that things weren't going to change. But they did. And they did at the perfect moment. You learn from every experience that occurs. That's what makes it so divine. Even if your life is miserable for months on end because of things that happen in physicality, however, you do learn from it. And when you look back, you realize, you know what? That was exactly what I needed to go through to understand where I am, my strength that carries me through good and evil, everything that happens. It's perfect. It ends up cleansing us on the deepest levels of our being, bringing us understanding of who we really are. When you know that you are a part of the divine source coming to know itself through you, it changes everything. You're not just a body. You're not just this human being with a name and a job and a family. You're so much more than that. And P.S., half the people you're with right now have been family over and over and over again, even people that aren't family in this lifetime. And that's why you came back together. Some of them love to be agitators. Sometimes we love to be agitators. And other times we were holier than thou. And every lifetime we have a set of requests that we would like to see ourselves move through and learn from and heal from. And so we come in with the personality that was going to serve us so that we could pull it off. Do we always pull it off? No. Sometimes we just do a little bit of what we had written as our wish to finish off. Other times we just took a lifetime off where we just walked through the flowers and lived off the land and didn't get ourselves involved with humanity. We just didn't want to be part of it. We needed to rest, and that was fine. That was fine. But this very particular incarnation is not for rest. It isn't just to be happy. It isn't just anything but work. This is the life we're finishing up as much as we can so that we don't have to do any more incarnations in this density, that we free ourselves, that we move beyond. The stages that he was talking about in the video, I understand it now. I really do. Because if we gained our complete awakening in one stage, the shock of it would be too much. We wouldn't have been able to handle it. That's divine wisdom in action. So slowly but surely, We had the 3 downloads. I feel like I've had more than that, only because maybe I was such a chicken that I needed to go in really small increments. And so it happened differently for me. But I tell you, it happens differently for all of us. We all do it the way that we feel we can tolerate the changes, the awareness, the responsibility. Once you know the truth about yourself, you can't undo the knowing. And now you're responsible for the knowing that you take on. So each one of us, as we dig deeply into the knowledge that we find in all different places, in museums, in the artwork, in music that touches our soul and opens our hearts, in movies, in books, everything, in interaction with people that are very knowledgeable or not even seeming so, but very spiritual, and helps us to see that beauty in ourself that we can emulate until we become. There has been the most incredibly beautiful souls like Jesus and Buddha and others that have come onto the earth very quietly, a lot of them. I met some of them when I traveled all across the world. But I tell you, the average person, they still are this divine presence in the world. You see, you don't have to be named a guru or a priest or a high standing whatever. You are a divine being equally. But do we equally express this divinity? That I will say, no. But as we awaken, the desire to do that becomes so great. And it starts as you practice it to become your way. You just do it. It's like you don't have to think about it or try. You don't have to force anything. You just become this loving, caring being, this divine presence, a bringer of light and love and comfort to others. To me, you're as holy as anybody that I have ever met. And I have met some very special people by the grace of God. You are just like that. The ones that I know here, you're just like them, if not more so, because I've seen you in action. I've heard your stories. I know you're suffering, and I know you're healing. And you know people in your life that have gone through the rigors and the steps and stages of awakening and awareness. Surround yourself with these people. Toxic people, they're not ready for you to be in their life every day. They will drag you down. They will bring you such heartache. Love them from a distance. Love them and pray for them. But don't expose yourself on a regular basis to this. You're not going to save them. They have to save themselves, choose to save themselves. And once they do, their own inner workings will bring them just what they brought you. You see? And when the time is right, you can re-enter their daily life. And then you can do your holy work. Show them what you did to awaken and to grow in your heart. This is the walk. And then comes the talk. And then you have to live the talk. Because if your mouth is running and saying all this holy stuff and you're not living it, you're not setting the example, and nobody is going to listen to us. No one. And I found that out the hard way because I was so aware and awake. And every time I would say something, it would just blow my mind what was coming from my higher self. And then one day, my higher self reminded me, whatever you speak, whatever you guide someone, be sure that you are doing this as well. Because they're going to watch you. And if you falter, they will lose faith in your words because you're not standing in the light that you are portraying and that you are saying. I hope you understand this on a very deep level because it's going to save you a lot of tears to understand this. Once you know a spiritual teaching, you are now responsible to carry out what you've learned. And once you speak, you are now destined to follow your own advice. First and foremost, because that's the reason that you said it. You had the excuse of speaking to someone you felt needed it. And I'm sure on some level that seed was planted. But it was you were speaking to. Because there's only one person in your world, and that's you. That's you. And everyone you're looking out there is just the mirror that you're bouncing off of to see yourself. Why do you think Jesus said, don't judge another? Don't judge. You're judging yourself. Because you wouldn't see that in them. You wouldn't unless it was in you. And when I learned this, it killed me. Because I would look at someone and I'd say, stop it, Barbara, don't even think like that. There I am. I would say, there I am. Don't be talking about anybody but you. This was the reason I came together with that person. So if you're hanging around a lot of troubled people, it's for you that you're seeing them. And yes, if you help them in any way, God bless you. But take it on you, not their stuff. Take onto yourself what you recognize and cleanse it from yourself. This is mastery in its finest stage. When we have made time for the things that are so important, and everything else in your life is just there for you to be in the place that you need to be with the people that you need to be with. It's not to be rich and famous, although that could happen, as long as it's not your God and you don't live for that. It's fine. It's very fine. What you should live for is to be the highest version of yourself, someone you can love with all your heart. I didn't love myself years ago. I was always too angry. I was angry at the world. I was angry at people who were mean and selfish and abusive. I had to get over that. I had to stop judging everything and start working on my joy. Start working on myself to find that joy in my life so that I could be the joy, not just give joy. I wanted to become it because that is the totality of the light of God in you. Okay. So I'm going to close because I want to save the rest of what I want to say to you for the closing statement. Those that are watching on YouTube, Our Divine Origin, you'll see the purple box with the white dove. That's the one, that's us. And you can listen to the song and the video and the quote that when we don't record these things, because it'll be listed there with the link. Okay. We're going to go into a beautiful song and then we'll go into segment 2. And our website is ourdivineorigin.com. Please go on there. You'll get to see everything we're doing and all the beautiful things that we offer. Okay. So God bless you. And thank you.
Okay, John, this is not recorded.
The song was Don't Stop Believing. And the point of the whole thing is you have everything inside you. You came prepared to be in this lifetime and every lifetime you've ever been in. You were prepared and you knew what you were going to face. Whether you do a good job or you fail, you have every opportunity to do it over. So there's never a failure until you don't ever decide to do what you came to do. But because you are never alone, just like she said, and you have everything inside you, all the strength, the character, the assistance, your higher self, angels, everybody surrounding you at all times, you're never alone. And just pull on those resources when when you got to get tough, when the days are hard and long. Thank you.
Barbara, can we please have your closing statement?
Mm-hmm. So tonight's topic, this divine incarnation. And it is divine. No matter how it's playing out for you, no matter what you think that it's great or I'm not getting anywhere or I'm going along beautifully. It is very divine what's happening. I believe it was Julia that said she's making her life the way she wants it through what she does, what she says, and how she acts. This is the truth. This is the truth. You're not doing it. I mean, if you're doing it to get the kudos, sorry, you're not getting the benefit of what you did. If you do it from your heart because you know it's the right thing, now you've changed the whole dynamics of it and the results. Why? Because it's the intent behind your words and actions that is the deciding factor of what is going to happen as a result. You see? We are in a stage right now, all of us. We're all going to play it differently, just the way we choose to. But let me make a suggestion to you. If ever you watched what you said, what you thought, and your actions, it's now. It's now. And from now until 2032 to 35, the door, it's stretched because we're kind of slow in what we're doing, because it's coming for that door to close. Until that point, this is our task. This is our divine task. We're doing it not just for ourselves, which is what we're responsible for. We're doing it for our families, for our immediate families, for our extended families, for our friends, everyone you have a contract with right now that you're interacting with, or that's just in your life casually, you are helping them, because every step you take upwards, which is inwards, actually, you're helping them. You're opening doors for them because that light is touching them. So you are what they call a savior per se, because you're helping others that aren't really thinking about helping themselves. If you watch what's going on in the world and hear and see what they're focusing on, you realize how important it is for those that are awake, aware, and doing their part to bring light into the world. There was this guru that I found on, it was a little short video, and he was saying, and when it's time for me to play it, I will. He was saying, how many people in the audience are praying regularly? And people raised their hand, and he said, good. He said, do you know that God chose you to be here, knowing that you're going to be praying for the world? He said, and I want you to pray for Donald Trump. And you heard some people gasp in the audience. You heard other people cheer. You heard other people kind of making some mumbling noises. And he said, no, no, no. He said, if God chose you, just a regular person in the world, to do because you would do your prayers, know that God chose Donald Trump to come in and do what he's doing. And God's using him just like he's using you. So he's chosen for his part. And everybody else in the world has a part to play. No truer words were ever spoken. God uses all of us, the agitator, the priest, the spiritual leaders, the teacher with children, the policeman, the fireman, government. God uses everyone to do a certain part, not the part you think they should play, the part that they were destined to play to serve the Father's plan. Everything that happens that we go around judging has to happen exactly the way it is, because we were all called in to do our part. Can you imagine how important everybody's presence is? And especially that they wake up to that presence that they really are, the highest version of yourself, to do your part well and love what you're doing. Love yourself and respect yourself and honor yourself for what you do. When you love yourself, you can love everyone and others can love you. But until we do love ourselves, we put walls up, thinking we'll be safe. But we isolate ourselves from the love that we could be receiving. Just remember that. So tonight's topic about the divine incarnation. We came here and we forgot everything. It's the only planet where that's the plan. And it was the hardest. It's the hardest place to learn because you don't know. You don't remember what you did, what you didn't do. Were you good? Were you bad? What did I come in to do? Why am I here? All the questions that we ask ourselves. Early on, we really wonder what the heck we're doing here, depending on where you came from before you stepped into this lifetime. But you know what? Every single thing that happened, every moment of your life was absolutely critical that it occurred. And when people try to fix others or make it easy for them or make it nice for them, you are interfering with their journey. They weren't meant for somebody to come in and make it nice for them. Love them? Yes. Send them light? Absolutely. But don't be the helicopter friend or the helicopter mother or grandmother where you're constantly, I don't want him to have to go through that like I did. Why? Why are we determining what they need to learn from the things that are happening? Never thought of that. But I used to think that myself. And then I realized I'm interfering because if they can't do it now, the universe set the whole thing up for them to have that experience. And Big Shot over here thinks, oh, I'm going to save the world. Yep. I'll tell you, focus on you. Your responsibility is to yourself. And those that are with you, love them, send them light, encourage them, do everything you can to support them. Don't save them. Don't save them. Save yourself and be the light in the world, and you will give them the strength to save themselves because only they can heal themselves. Only them. You can't heal them, but you can give them the strength to do it themselves, and maybe encouragement, and maybe the way to do it. You know what I did? Yeah. You have experiences so you can help others to know what to do in times of crisis, in times of loss, in times when nothing's going right. But it really is going right because it wakes you up. If everything is always just as smooth as silk, do you wake up? No, you have no reason to. You just go along with that smooth road. But when you struggle physically, mentally, emotionally, or in any other way that you can think of, things happen and you are triggered. Either you go into survival mode where you are going to fix this and make yourself right, or you're going to give into it and let it take you. Don't ever give in. Don't ever give up. Because you're the only one that can fix this for yourself. And in that strength that you have, others see this and they're encouraged to become strong too. Especially children watching. They watch you and they see how you respond or react to things. And then they do the same thing. They do. And if they see strength in someone, it gives them courage to face this world, because being a little kid right now has to be quite confusing, to tell you the truth, because they feel on a very deep level. They don't know how to turn it off, and they feel it. And they look at the world and go, wow, what am I doing here? Just like I did all those years ago. I thought I got dropped off on the wrong planet, to tell you the truth. But I didn't. Yep. It's been a journey. But I'm telling you, I am so grateful for my life to learn, to go through everything that I did. And the most fun part was every time a doctor told me, you'll never walk again, or you're never going to be able to do anything again. And I roll up my sleeves and I go, oh yeah, let me show you what I can do. Nothing triggers me more than a challenge to do my best and to become the best version of myself. And I'm telling you, what a wonderful grace you give yourself when you do what I did. And I'm sure you'll do it even better and faster. I'm very slow at my growth, but I needed to go slow. Like you, both of you that had said you take baby steps, very smart way to do it. Very smart way. It's just like when people go on diets and they do this crash diet, they make themselves very sick because they throw their chemistry off terribly in their bodies. But if you just change some of your eating habits and find that, you don't have to do anything fast anymore, do everything lovingly and gently. Your body's working so hard for you, constantly fighting off all the things that are floating around in the air, and on the ground and trying to get into your body and find a host to be in. And it's interesting. And then people coming into your life challenging you, but take the challenge. Just observe it. Don't don't get involved in it. Don't defend yourself. Never stand there defending yourself because that's when people who are agitators are going to eat you up alive. They see your weak point and they go for it. Become like this. And they couldn't read you in 100,000 years unless they can read your fields, and that's a whole nother story. But usually people like that are not doing that. They learn respect when it comes to those spiritual gifts that you get. And if you don't, it'll be taken away from you until you do learn respect. Yep. And I learned it early on because that's just my nature. So on that note, I feel that each one of you are in a place where you are meant to be right now. And if you feel that that isn't a good place, then you ask your higher self to show you what you need to do, like Julia did. Her higher self encouraged her to do that. Believe me, it isn't our little ego, which gets wounded so badly and saying, you know what, I'm not doing anything for that little brat. Yeah, well, then you'll get what you get. But if you change your mind and say, okay, I surrender. I'm going to stop all my games and I'm going to get real. And when you get real, people love that. People love authentic people that you can be the same way with whoever you're with. You have no games to play, nothing to gain from anyone, nothing to take. You're just there being a real human being. And that's a really good version of yourself. So I encourage you to live this divine incarnation with all your heart, all your intent, and let your soul move you. Let the Christ in you guide you. Let the angel move you. And your life will be exactly what you wished it to be. On that note, I wish you a beautiful week. I wish you every glorious moment of awareness and truth. And please look in the mirror and tell yourself, I really love you. I really love you. Say it in your head so your people in the house don't think you're losing it pretty bad. Just say it in your head and mean it. Yep. This morning when I did my hair and it was really looking good, it's kind of sagging right now, but when it looked really good, I said, you look good today, Barbara. I love you. And I really felt those words. I really did. So you feel it too, and say it and mean it to yourself, okay? All right. God bless you. And thank you. We're going to do planetary, our visualization and prayer. Please stay. Love for you to do this, but make sure you turn your mics off when you're saying the prayer out loud, because the people, on the recording are going to be hearing it, and I'd like them to hear the words. Yeah, with that, all that. All right. I love you guys. God bless you.
Thank you, Barbara. I will read the closing prayer. Please remain muted. We are deeply grateful for this forum, and we thank those in attendance for your attention, for our wonderful questions, comments, and stories that touched our hearts and opened our minds to new possibilities. Our collective energy has filled this forum with light and love for each other. We are so grateful that each of us brings guides and angelic beings to the forum, raising the frequency ever higher. We are grateful for the assistance, inspiration, and guidance from the benevolent beings overseeing the forum. We know we're all deeply loved and richly blessed. So be it. We invite you all to remain for a 10-minute prayer before saying goodnight to each other. We will be closing this evening with a planetary prayer as our collective call for the light to bless every kingdom upon the earth, to create a new heaven and a new earth. The words are on the screen to help you recite this beautiful prayer. Program Manager, please start the planetary visualization video.
So let's sit nice and tall in our seats, our feet on the ground. Straighten up your spine. Let that light be able to move nicely through your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Call up that light into your feet, up your legs, the trunk of your body, your arms, hands, up your neck and in your head as it loops back down into the earth, through your body, out the soles of your feet in a continuous flow. Let's begin setting everything into motion. I call for the divine Christ radiance to surround me, hermetically sealing around me. Nothing but love can penetrate this seal of divine light. I call for the divine light to enter my crown directly from source, moving through every atom, molecule, cell, and energy within my body and fields. The flow of divine light moves through my body into the earth, out through the soles of my feet, continuing in a steady flow and building in potency. I ask my higher self to connect my heart with the other prayer warriors all over the world, to create a unified effort as one mind, one heart, one intent. I call to the benevolent beings of light for their assistance. I ask my higher self to add power to the words of this planetary visualization. Now let us rest in the divine light, concentrating on our breath and on the light flowing. Let it clear your mind, breathing in the divine light and hold it. Now breathe out the divine light. Breathing in the divine light, hold it. Now breathe out the divine light. One last time, breathing in the divine light, hold it. Now breathe out all the divine light. Extending your arms, turn the palms of your hands to face each other, about a foot apart. Visualize the earth and her atmosphere between your hands. The light will begin to flow into your hands and into the earth and her atmosphere. You'll feel it flowing. Let us call in the divine light. I am calling the violet ray as violet fire to flow directly from source into the earth's atmosphere, penetrating into the earth's surface all the way through to the core in a steady flow. I am calling the divine Christ radiance to move through my body, out through my hands and heart. The divine light is pouring into the earth's atmosphere, penetrating the surface and continuing to the center of the planet in a steady flow, blessing the earth in divine light. Now let us direct the divine light with authority. I am directing the divine light into the planetary grid lines, the electronic grid and meridian lines surrounding the Earth, the ley lines crisscrossing the Earth, repairing and charging these lines as the divine light moves in a continuous flow. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the kingdoms represented on Earth and all life within each kingdom, the elemental, plant and food chain, the animal kingdom, human kingdom, angelic kingdom, and all kingdoms known and unknown. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the dimensions of the Earth, penetrating these dimensions and all life within each dimension. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the waters of the Earth, on the surface, under the surface, in the atmosphere, and all life within these waters, purifying the water as God intended in the beginning. I am directing the divine light to penetrate all land masses, the continents and islands of land upon the Earth's surface, and all life living upon the surface and under the surface. I am directing the divine light to penetrate the cities, towns, and communities upon the land, and all life living within inhabited locations on the Earth. I am directing divine light to penetrate all of humanity on Earth, every man, woman, and child incarnated on Earth, lifting them in the light, awakening and ascending ever higher as divine source intended from the beginning. I am directing the divine light to penetrate all species of animals on the land, flying in the sky, all organisms and elementals on the surface and beneath the surface of the Earth. I am visualizing the benevolent beings of light upon the Earth, assisting all humanity, showing us the way, guiding us, assisting those awakened, and embracing those just awakening, leading humanity to a higher reality and to bring the concepts of a higher order of divine love for yourself and others. Now breathing deeply, taking in the entire picture of all that you have visualized, marveling as you help create a new heaven and a new earth, filled with divine light, as divine source intended from the beginning. Let us express our gratitude. I am thanking the benevolent beings of light for their assistance and guidance. I thank my higher self for giving power to my words, manifesting my divine vision. I thank the divine light for its steady flow of purity to all creation. I thank Mother Earth for providing all of our needs from her abundance and beauty. I thank the angels in every color of the rainbow for their daily assistance and blessings. And I thank our divine source for all of creation. Concentrating on your hands as that light is pouring into the earth. And now place your hands upon your heart and feel the divine flow of light, giving thanks for being of service to our divine source. Now rest your arms, press your feet to the floor, become aware of your surroundings. And when you are feeling ready, open your eyes and return fully present. This visualization and directives of light is to co-create and manifest the transformation of our planet, giving back to her for all she offers to us. This is God's plan for this planet and all life upon her. So be it, and so it is. Amen and amen. You can have a copy of this visualization and a prayer to cleanse the earth. Visit our website, ourdivineorigin.com. Thank you.
Okay. John, please stop the recording.